College Football Update with your host, Sean Spencer and Alex Russo.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is Wednesday, but you know we got to talk some college football with this college football update. And you see who I'm with. You see my guy here. And yes, he's still here. The number might have reset, but it's all good. Michigan will be back. You see him. Mr. Maize and Blue himself, Alex Loosemore. What up, Alex?
Not too much, man. That was a rough game to watch. Off the start there, we had the field goal, then the pick, and I was like, oh man, we're about to do it again. And even
Right.
I don't know if you saw the Bussin' with the Boys group, like Taylor Lewan and them, but they asked Ryan Day. They were like, when that pick happened, like, did you think oh shit, this is happening again? He's like, of course I did. Like, what? Then they held us to the field goal, and it was just like, oh damn, okay, no, we're in trouble. But prayers have been answered in one sense. Brian Hartline is gone. We'll get into that later. And we're doing really well in recruiting today, with it being National Signing Day, well, the early signing day. So even though we took that brutal loss, things are looking good for the Maize and Blue going forward.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, it's a new day. I'm excited to see kind of how you guys rebound and bounce back from this. And hey, Alec, as somebody that was on the train tracks when that Ohio State train came up last year after the loss, things have flipped now. My guy, Mr. Quack Quack himself. I think the Oregon Ducks. I think they might be eyeing that natty. What you think, Alec? How you
The
feeling?
only one here with the playoffs.
I mean,
Come on.
I have to see him get past the semifinals for any hope. Gotta get past the semifinals. I don't care about a first round or whatever the first round game is. I don't care about a semifinal. I don't even care about I just want to make it there.
Please, Ben.
Make
Please.
it there. Actually, no. Screw that. I'm tired of just making it there. So he made it there 3 times or 2 times and got pounded. I actually want to make it there and actually win there.
Win it.
Well, I mean, the thing is right now, the way it's set up, and I mean, we'll look at it in a few minutes here, but you would have to go through 2 of the better teams to get there. You'd have to go through, as it's set up now, Texas Tech and Ohio State. So if you make it there, you've earned your way there, and you have every chance in the world at that point.
Oh yeah. Look, it's right there in front of you. Obviously, you have the ghost from last year, but that's last year. That's the past. Dan Lanning has you guys geared up and ready. He has you ready. I know you have it. I know it hurts.
Jeremiah Smith, is it lives in my nightmares?
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not the only one, but
Four-star
defense. And the only thing that lives in my nightmares is Jordan. Soon to be Jordan. Yeah.
His 19-year-old girlfriend.
Right, his 19-year-old girlfriend. Yo, we got people watching. Jim Jones, we know you got something to say. And Joseph Newman, what's going on? He said it's some BS that Miami is out and ND is in. Notre Dame to move and play in conference, not having a conference championship to play is crazy. A lot of people are talking about it. And you know what? Let's audible. Let's go right to it. Let me pull that up right now and let's see what is going on, because obviously it is a big deal. Everybody wants to discuss it. And I'll bring up that bracket. Alrighty. Right here, right now. This is what it looks like to begin with. And I'll go with the first 4: Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia, and Texas Tech. Obviously, with some of the conference championships, this might change a little bit, but we'll see. Currently, the number 5 team is Oregon, who has to play whoever comes in that 12th seed. We'll talk about that in a minute. Obviously, a rematch, 8 versus 9, Oklahoma versus Alabama. Old Miss at 6. Obviously, their coach Lane Kiffin is gone, so we'll see what happens with that. And then who would they have to play with the 11th seed? And then Notre Dame and Texas A&M, another rematch. Alex, you look at this, and I mean, who knows if it'll stay the same or not? But I mean, this is a really nice bracket. Like each one of these games, I would be really excited to watch.
I mean, yeah, Oklahoma Alabama was a really good game. Just 3 weeks ago now. I'd be down to get that again.
Mm-hmm.
And then Notre Dame and Texas A&M was a phenomenal game in week 2, and I would definitely take that again. So as much as you kind of want to see new matchups, not mad at that. The one thing to look at is the majority of these seeds will kind of stay the same. The only teams that really have the chance to move around here are Alabama, Georgia, Indiana, and Ohio State. And I don't really think Indiana and Ohio State, unless Indiana wins, I think they're going to stay 1 and 2. I really think that's 1 and 2 unless one of them gets dominated. Then I could see maybe sliding to 3. Georgia, if they win, they'll stay at 3, potentially 2 if the Big Ten championship's a blowout. There is potential, I don't know if they would do it, for Alabama to fall out if they lose. Especially there's so many teams right there. You would have Alabama at 3 losses. I don't think they should necessarily be punished for losing that third game as it's an extra game.
Right.
But there is the chance, because, I mean, you can see our comments on Facebook are blowing up about Notre Dame and Miami. That would give you the chance to put them both in.
Yeah.
I don't hate that idea. The big thing for Notre Dame here, if you're a Notre Dame fan, 1, you're glad you're still hanging on, you're glad you're still in. But 2, you need Texas Tech to win. If BYU wins the Big 12, that last wild card spot goes to Texas Tech. Notre Dame is pushed out regardless. So they need Texas Tech to win that game. The 2 auto bid spots at the end are very interesting because, Big 12 auto bid spots in there. It's just whether it's Texas Tech or BYU. Those last 2, the 11 and 12 seeds, as of now, I kind of want Duke to win just for pure chaos, because then it's between the AAC champion, the Sun Belt champion, and if the Sun Belt champion is not JMU, then there's a good chance UNLV as the Mountain West champion could get in. So there's 3 group of 5 conferences that could get in over the ACC champion. It's wild to talk about. But that's the thing I love about this is we could see some teams that you wouldn't have imagined to have a chance in the playoffs go and maybe make some noise. What's Ole Miss going to look like with, I know it's not necessarily a new coaching staff because your coordinator is still there. What's it going to look like without Lane Kiffin, a head coach? Because he's been the head coach for this greatest 6-year stretch in school history. And now he's gone. So as Pete Golding, you got to rally the troops. Is he still calling the defense, or is he passing that off to one of the other guys? Charlie Weiss came back to coach the playoff run before, I believe, heading to LSU with Lane Kiffin. So the offense you don't got to worry about. But if we get, say, a North Texas Ole Miss matchup and those 2 offenses going at it, that is fireworks. That might be a whoever gets the ball last wins kind of game. And then JMU getting a chance to maybe go to Autzen.
Let's go Dukes.
I feel bad for whoever would have to go to Autzen, but there's the reason, the saying any given Saturday for a reason. So I love that there's still so many teams to talk about with the playoffs, with 5 days and about 5 games left to go before the playoffs are announced. I love it. This 12-team playoff and the way this season has gone is so great for college football. I've absolutely loved it.
This is what makes it amazing. Everything coming. You have so many different teams that have an opportunity now. You see them in the comments. You were talking about it. Jim Jones saying Notre Dame is using their situation as a cheat code. They're teetering. They're in on it out. But those 2 losses. Talk to me.
this Notre Dame and Miami situation is so difficult because it's like at what point do you push head to head to the side and look at the resumes?
Right.
Because if you I mean, I feel like head to head should matter.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, Notre Dame's 2 losses were to the current number 7 ranked team and the current number 11 or 12 ranked team by a combined 4 points.
Right.
Miami's gotten their ass beat by some unranked teams.
Yeah.
That's where I'm like, at what point does head to head get overlooked by a bad resume by Miami? I don't know if it should.
No.
But I think it's a valid discussion.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a valid discussion. But then that also opens up the question: are all losses created equal?
No,
you know what I mean?
Not in the slightest.
Exactly. And so I think we have to take that into consideration because you look at everybody's giving Notre Dame this issue, but it's like the two you named it, the 2 teams they beat, one of which we're going to talk about in Texas A&M, and the other one obviously the Miami, and then they went straight through. And you look at it, Miami, the ACC is one of their worst enemy right now. The fact that the ACC is so poor, and you see the teams they lose to in the ACC who aren't even ranked, it's hard to argue that. I understand they beat the head-to-head, but it's hard to argue with the rest of that in those games they didn't look great either. So, you want to give them the benefit of the doubt. Alec, what do you think about this whole situation with Notre Dame? I mean, Duke, first and foremost, you see what I'm wearing, okay? I will never root for Duke, but I do root for chaos. All right. So the fact that Duke and Virginia are in the ACC championship,
you can root for Virginia to lose without rooting for Duke.
I don't want any of these teams. All right. Let's be honest with that. Yeah. I just want chaos. I'm here for chaos. If that means Duke wins, that's fine. I was just there last week. I put my little voodoo hex on them, so I'm not worried about them. But I do want some chaos in this. What are you thinking about this whole situation?
So I definitely agree with the chaos part, especially in the Ole Miss factor. I don't want it to happen in the first bracket for my own sake, but I would definitely like the factor of the Ole Miss. I definitely agree with, I really don't want to see Duke or Virginia go in there, but I do want to see a team like JMU cause some chaos, potentially give Ole Miss a run for their money. But I kind of want to see those small schools actually get above and get more exposure in the bigger games. But the last 10 minutes, I just looked it up. I definitely agree that my team could probably make some noise because if I just saw a third receiver is ahead of schedule, and that name is Evan Stewart.
Oh, yeah, I was wondering if that was who you were talking about.
A third receiver might be making his chances in the playoffs.
I think Oregon's got a shot, man. I really do.
Because Gary Bryant.
The big thing is what version of Dante Moore do you get?
We're all ahead of schedule.
Yeah, if you get Dante Moore playing confident and he's got all the receivers around, that is dangerous. I would not want to play Oregon.
And also, if you can get that run game going, if you've talked about your recruits. I mean, Whittingham, he's been constantly getting 100 yards. If you get that running game going, wait. Speak of, he's in here. Speak of JMU. The Duke is calling. What up, Will?
My guy down here says he wants JMU in the college football playoff. And I come running to give you a virtual high five. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's go. Will, man, you look at this, obviously 11-12. Who knows what could happen? Duke could cause chaos. JMU could somehow sneak in here. Realistically, how are you looking at that? Are you excited about the potential, or what you thinking?
Of the last few games or this entire bracket?
Oh, I'm talking about first JMU. I'm talking about your school. Them potentially getting in.
I mean, it would be incredible. I mean, I also want to be honest and say, like, I mean, I just said Virginia would get beat by 40 in the playoffs.
Mhm.
I'd be a little nervous. Who would JMU Google? Who would JMU go up against? Would it be
They would play
Oregon?
Oregon. They
No,
would play
I don't want
Oregon.
you. They don't want you.
Right.
He's like, we can wait till next year. Like,
Yeah. Let's try this again. Thank you for being in the opportunity, but we don't need to go there, get curb stomped, and have people saying, "Remember when JMU got in and got
Right.
beat?" You know, I mean, Sean already relives the days when they lost by 70 to James.
They're still scoring. They're still scoring against us. Okay.
Yeah. But no.
Don't remind
So
me.
yeah, seeing that would be problematic. So all right, Google, you tell me this. JMU, how are they ranked in the college football rankings below both North Texas and Tulane?
I think Tulane's a big part of it is how they were ranked to start the season. They were getting talks of being in the top 25, and they poked their head in pretty early. North Texas is one that's a little more confusing to me.
Well, if you look at that chart, that side by side, if you look at take it the basketball, Ken Palm, RPI rankings, JMU should be below Tulane, or should behind Tulane, but they should not be behind North Texas. To say if Duke wins, JMU should be the 11th seed, not the 12th seed, based if you saw that the three schools side by side.
The winner, Tulane and North Texas, would get the 11th seed if Duke wins. Those two are playing each other for their
right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If North Texas wins, they should be the 12th team. If you look at the strength of schedule, quality wins, that type of stuff, JMU is better has a better resume than North Texas.
See,
who do they play then? Who's the 11, the sixth seed?
The 6th seed is Ole Miss right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's no fun either.
See, that's why I was saying
without their
personally,
coach.
But both coordinators.
Yeah.
That's where Ole Miss still has both coordinators. Golding, obviously, being the head coach, and Charlie Weiss came back to coach the playoffs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
even after getting ridiculed as he tried to board a plane,
I believe he's headed to LSU after, but I think he's staying to coach the playoff.
Yeah.
Especially after Layton tried to save face and be like, "No, I didn't give any ultimatum to the coaches. They can coach the playoff and then come if they want." Yeah, no, I think Ole Miss is a total wild card. Jim Jones put it perfectly in the comments on Facebook there, saying that they're either coming for blood, a team possessed because their coach just did them dirty, or they're going to be in their feelings a little too much and they're going to get caught off guard. I think he put it perfectly. We're going to have to wait and see Ole Miss on the field to see which version we're getting, because it's a total wild card. If you're able to get the 11 seed, you're kind of licking your chops but nervous at the same time, because it's like, what are we really getting ourselves into? Right. I think that's why I think that North Texas and Ole Miss game would be so much fun, just because of the high-powered offenses and the passing games. Like Mestmaker against Trinidad Chambliss. I'll take that all day, please and thank you. But yeah, to bring it back to your question, I wish I would have been watching the show and seeing if they discussed that North Texas and JMU aspect, because I don't know. Yeah, like you said, the resume for JMU is better. It's kind of hard to see the other weeks where they were ranked because they weren't top 25. Right. So I wish they would kind of show who else got votes like they do with the AP poll. So you could see, okay, maybe North Texas last week was like 27 and JMU was 28, kind of seeing how they line those guys up beforehand. Yeah, but
that makes sense.
Unfortunately, we don't get that.
Well, I think what's kind of cool about this is didn't they say, unlike last year, like these top 12, besides someone winning and another team coming, or I should say these top 10, they're not set in stone. And so they have the ability to kind of relook at this next week before or I guess Saturday night, before the Sunday morning, before they do the unveiling, And they could rearrange this just because some of these teams aren't playing. Like Oklahoma is not staying at 8 because they're not playing this Saturday, which I like. I like that they're going to really kind of take a look at this and say, all right, who are the best?
Now, like I said before, I don't imagine much movement out of Ohio State and Indiana. I think, unless it's a blowout, I think they're 1-2 going in. Georgia could have some movement depending on if they lose. Obviously, I think if they lose, they fall to 5, and Oregon slides up to 4. There is potential if Bama loses for them to slide out because that's a third loss. Now, I don't know how harshly they'd punish them for that third loss, given it's an extra game. And Notre Dame is totally at the mercy of BYU at this point because if BYU moves in, Texas Tech gets the last wild card bid, Notre Dame's automatically pushed out. So Notre Dame their focus should be strictly on the Big 12 championship game Saturday night and praying that Texas Tech handles business. But yeah, I think realistically, there's probably 8 teams that are locked in. I think it's Alabama and Notre Dame that are the only teams really that I see falling out potentially.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Oh, yeah.
All right, fellas, good talking to you. I've got to crash. I got to call it a night. Y'all
always
do great
good,
things,
Reaper.
always. Thank you for letting me
Always
come in.
man.
Let's go, Dukes. Go, Alec. Go win the national championship.
Let's get it.
See, that's the thing. Outside of EK having his team in, the only other team that hops on these shows regularly that has a chance with JMU, but then Oregon. So I mean, we're kind of rooting for you here, Alec.
Right? I was rooting
we're all
for
ducks.
you.
All ducks,
lost
Alec.
to Cam Newton.
And we're all gonna be fighting for you.
All right,
Oh
I'm
man,
out.
oh
Go to
man.
bed.
Later, Will.
All right, bud. Appreciate you hopping on.
Yep.
Oh man, yeah. Look, yeah, these matchups are going to be crazy. And what I love the most before we get out of here is when you look at the 1 seed, you look at the 2 seed. Obviously, Ohio State, Indiana. We've talked about their strength. How good are they really? But then we've also talked about Big Ten, SEC. You have potential if things stay the same in that 8-9. That it's an SEC versus a Big Ten very early, top squad teams. And then if Texas A&M gets the W, they could potentially go in there against Indiana. And those second-round matches, I mean, that is what – I mean, I already love the fact that we might get an Oregon Texas Tech if Texas Tech handles their business. Still, the jury's out for me on Ole Miss. I know they got their coordinators, but let's see how, like you guys said, will they come out with their hair on fire, or will they just say, oh, man, our coach left us, boo-hoo, and just – lay an egg? That's going to be interesting, but we're really going to start to see Big Ten, SEC, who's got it this year, and I want to see that. I'm really excited for that.
I do have one thing to say, Sean.
Talk to me. What's up?
Oh, he's not good. Alex, he might not like this one. But I see a team at number 3. That's my little side piece, my little darling. Because last time I checked, who's that coming down the track?
This guy.
Yeah, the team that lost
in
to
the
Notre Dame last year. That's
right. They lost to Notre Dame. That's
In
who
the
they are.
land, the obnoxious Georgia fan. Go Dogs. Go Dogs. Go Dogs. Sick 'em.
Wow. Don't worry. I'll be sure to let Colin and Anthony hear your little salute to them.
Oh my God!
right?
Literally, Anthony just hopped in the comments on YouTube. No freaking way.
Heard it. He
I
heard
heard the
it.
chant. I'm telling you.
Listen, I think
I want
Georgia's.
I want everybody to know this is where I want Georgia at number 3. This is where I want him at. Belt to ass Ole Miss.
It wasn't belt to ass last time. It wasn't belt to ass last time. They played earlier this year. It was a good game. I think it would be a good game again. Georgia's absolutely got a chance to go win this whole thing, though. I think really what it comes down to is Gunnar Stockton. He's shown multiple games this year that he can play some top-level football here. He's shown he's a damn good quarterback. Now, we'll need to see it when the lights are really bright here. That's the one thing. He's got his full season as the starter now. We need to see him show up in these big games. I think there's absolutely a realistic shot for Georgia to win it all.
Yeah, right.
Say-
I'm
say
telling you
with me,
right now, I
Anthony.
can see Georgia,
Go
Oregon.
Dogs. Go Dogs. Oh, dogs. Sick 'em.
And Jim Jones said it. He said in the comments, Georgia is a complete team of sorts. I mean, we know there isn't anybody outside of Gunnar Stockton. There's not many people that maybe you have heard here and there at, like a lot of the other big name guys, but you can never question them. You can never
It's still
down
a
them.
damn good
Week
football
after
team.
Week. Exactly. Week after week, they're extremely
If
well
you haven't
coached.
remembered last year, it could have been Georgia's year last year. Granted, because when they had, I even want to remember this game because that game went a whole different direction so fast, so quick. As soon as Carson Beck went down, like
And the
granted,
SEC title game there?
obviously, that was Gunnar Stockton came in. I mean, you can't really some quarterbacks either can do something about it on the spot or adjust to it.
Yep.
But I feel like this is a year, barring anything, they come back for what they wanted last year.
Mm-hmm. I think Georgia's big test. I mean, we'll see what, like we always said, we'll see what Ole Miss comes out. But I think in that semifinal week, if they get by the second round, the quarterfinals, and they end up playing in Indiana or potentially in A&M or even a rematch of last year with Notre Dame, that's where we'll really see is Gunnar, because last year they kind of held their cards close to the vest. They didn't give Gunnar the whole playbook. Now he's got a full year of SEC play under his belt. He's ready. That run game is good. That defense is solid. That's where we're going to see the lights are the brightest. Can you elevate your team? And that's what, that's the bar. We know the Stetson love. That's the bar. And he's going to have to get above that to be remembered in Georgia.
Lane sucks University.
Well, I mean, Jim says it great in the comments again. We'll have to see if they can hang with Indiana and Ohio State, but at the same time, have we truly seen either of those teams tested before this Saturday? That's the thing. They toyed with us all day Saturday. They played with their food all day. They should have beat us by so much more. And even that Texas game,
can I get my flowers?
Julian Sand took his game. That first game there to kind of get going, but that defense just shut down Arch in Texas in week 1. So I mean, outside of that, they haven't really been tested. That being Ohio State and Indiana, the exact same thing. They mowed down the majority of teams on their schedule, and I to me, I think Indiana has the better win going to Oregon. Sorry, Alec. But I'm so intrigued to see these teams clash on Saturday. I'm so excited for that game. Also, I just wanted to throw this out there. I know the SEC is on ESPN, but the fact that College Game Day is not at the 1 versus 2 matchup is absolutely insane. I understand it because SEC is on ESPN, Georgia, Bama, bigger brand name matchup overall. But I mean, it's 1 versus 2, man. It's 1 versus 2.
Exactly. Both undefeated. What are we talking? I mean, come on now.
I will say,
a little love there.
Can I get my flowers? Illinois is not a good team. That was their ranked team that Indiana played. I'm tired of people saying, "Oh, they beat 11 Illinois." They were ranked, and then they came back to reality. They are a washed team. I'm saying this over and over again. They haven't beat anybody. So this game between Ohio State and Indiana,
wait.
This will
they
be
beat you. They didn't beat anybody. They beat you in your house.
We didn't have nobody. We were playing with fucking.
They beat the current number 5 team in their own barn. You can't say they haven't beat nobody. They beat the number 5 team in their own barn.
Gotta give them credit.
And you know what? That game, let us play them again. That's going to be bulletin board material for Dan.
I could see that being a potential national championship matchup.
I'd say, you got to get to the natty to do it.
That's the one team I want the rematch against. Us actually having our players versus them having their players. And we beat you. Y'all beat us by 10. I don't care.
Who else beat you by 10? Who else is beating you by 10? I'll wait.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I can tell you who we faced by 30.
Hey,
Actually, by
that was
20.
last year's team. Now, mind you, this Ohio State team might be better than last year's Ohio State team, but Julian Sand just does not make mistakes, man.
As long as
I hate to talk good about
fine.
Ohio State, but Julian Sand just does not make mistakes.
I just hate how this bracket somehow just bleeds us back to Ohio State if we go all the way.
You got to go through the best. You have to. I mean,
I want to switch.
But I mean, is it necessarily given that Oklahoma or Alabama doesn't beat Ohio State on a neutral site?
I want to switch number 6. I want number 6 spot.
You want the number 6 spot?
You want to go against Georgia early?
Just think about it. Just the script in the making, right? We were number 6. Beat the whoever number 11 is, right? Then bam, play against Georgia.
I thought you'd want that to be your national championship game,
right?
It can go one or two ways. I can either get who I predicted to win, or I can get a Dan Lanning revenge game. And then you fast forward to that one if Indiana survives Texas A&M or Notre Dame, and then you get that date on the calendar of all of our players healthy, and we put the curb stomp to Indiana.
Ain't nobody curb stomping Indiana.
I'm not saying curb on like blow out like by 20, but I'm saying like we get that revenge against them.
I don't see any team that's unbeatable in this bracket. So I think everyone's gettable here.
The dark horse is Texas Tech, even though they're number 4. I mean, that's not a dark horse.
I love Texas Tech.
Their
seem like
offense,
a complete team.
They brought back the air raid offense in that team.
Yeah. And they have arguably the best front 7 in the country.
Like if you watch their drives, they score so fast, so quick.
Oh yeah.
Like I can literally leave the game. Like I can walk, like leave the room, go to the bathroom, come back there, I score a touchdown. I'm like, Jesus.
The one knock on Texas Tech though is if they get in the red zone, more often than not, they're actually kicking field goals, not scoring touchdowns. That's their one knock, is they need to be able to score touchdowns.
That's going to be interesting because we already know what kind of players they have. And listen, we are going to go ahead and move on from this because we mentioned their players. One of the reasons why is because at least one of them is in the Heisman race. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that Heisman talk. Here we go.
With team success comes individual success. So without y'all.
So listen, everybody knows, obviously, there's the Julian Sayans, there's the Fernando Mendozas, Jeremiah Love. We're going to go ahead and look at the betting odds for the 2025 Heisman Trophy betting odds. Fernando Mendoza is plus 165. Sayan also plus 165. We talked about the winner of that game could potentially have a fast track to getting the Heisman. What I love, number 3 with plus 200, Diego Pavia out of Vanderbilt brought them up, helped them to get to 10-2. Then you have Jeremiah Love at plus 5,000, Jeremiah Smith at plus 25,000, and then Gunnar Stockton and Ty Simpson both at plus 30,000. You look at this list, Alec, I'll come to you first. You look at this list, man. Obviously, I know how you feel about Fernando Mendoza, saying these guys haven't played anybody. We know your feelings. But you look at this list. Matter of fact, there's one other name I want to put on here. Can we put on some Dante Moore? Can we put that guy on this list?
We can.
What are we talking about? How you feeling, Alec?
I feel like the Big Ten championship game, that would be barring any setback in the SEC championship. I feel like whoever wins. Not even say like I would say win in the Big Ten championship, but whoever performs better. Because if Mendoza can play well against that top-ranked Ohio State defense and beats Ohio State, then he'll definitely jump to the top and probably be the favorite to win. because I can't really because as much as I wanted to see a running back win it, I really want to see Jeremiah Love win it, but because he's just so talented, such a great running back, but. I think we just lost Sean.
I think so. Okay, yeah, I'll hop in. Yeah, I agree with you. I absolutely think it should be Jeremiah Love. What? He just looks so disinterested in what we're saying. It absolutely should be Jeremiah Love. If you want to go into the storytelling and look back at the history, every year that we've had it end in a 5 has been a running back win the Heisman. You look back, 15, I believe it was Derrick Henry, Reggie Bush in 05 keep going back. It's running back central in years that end with 5. So I'd love for them to keep that streak going and Jeremiah Love get it. I think he's been the best player in college football this year. He's electric to watch. And to be honest, no quarterback has put up Heisman-worthy numbers. Don't get me wrong, Mendoza and San have been great. They haven't made mistakes. They've done what they need to do, and help their teams obviously be the only 2 undefeated teams left. So I think the winner of that Big Ten championship game is probably going to get the Heisman, but it should absolutely be Jeremiah Love. Neither quarterback has done enough to win the Heisman this year. Put their numbers up against Heisman winning quarterbacks numbers, even the low end of Heisman winning quarterbacks numbers from the last 30 years, and these guys are below them in pretty much everything.
Oh yeah. Sorry about technical difficulties. See, this is what happens when Duke gets in the ACC championship. My Wi-Fi starts messing up. What did I miss, guys?
Back on the voodoo.
I mean, you were so interested when you were talking about it. You just had that straight face.
You looked so where it froze. You looked so disinterested in what we were saying. It was great. I mean, we essentially just agreed with each other that it should be Jeremiah Love. That he's been phenomenal, and then I threw out the statement that if you look at it, I can't remember if it goes all the way back as far as the Heisman's been, or how far back it goes, but as far back as I can remember, every year that's ended in a 5, a running back / fullback has won the Heisman. So to me, I'd love them to keep the story going. Jeremiah Love getting the Heisman. But I don't see it leaving the winner of that Big Ten championship game, even though the quarterbacks have been great. They haven't put up Heisman worthy numbers.
Yep. And look, I'm gonna make it 3. I genuinely think, and first of all, as a former running back, definitely want to keep that 5 trend going and get us a running back in here. And then obviously we've known coming into the season, we knew that the type of, elite back that Jeremiah Love was. And it didn't start off that way early. We were kind of questioning, what's going on. They had the two-headed monster in the backfield, but up late recently, he's picked up, and you can just see he's otherworldly. He's an elite running back. So I definitely think he in this land of quarterbacks. I agree 100%. Let's go down that road, especially since my guy Ashton Genty didn't get it last year. I think let's go here and give it to him. Now, huh?
It's because he didn't have a season ending in 5. That's why.
I know. Oh, I know. Absolutely. And the fact that he had, a two-way player. Travis Hunter,
had a freaking unicorn to go against.
Exactly. But Alex, you and I have talked about another guy for several years back to when he was over with New Mexico, New Mexico State doing his thing, or New Mexico doing his thing, Diego Pavia. And the fact that he's on this list, and the fact that technically right now he's third and the closest to any one of these other quarterbacks in San and Mendoza. I love that, man. And if we're really talking about Heisman, which I'm thinking is most valuable player, but also somebody that really lifts up an entire program, I don't see how we can look any farther than Diego Pavia. This guy literally came from a extremely smaller school, came up over here to Vanderbilt. Everybody knows, all the SEC guys know they were the little brother. They were the
They were only
small
there to
teams.
boost
They all
the
kind
academic average and
exactly. And everybody, they got their free win. What did Saban sit there and say? We always know we get a win going there. They get the upset a year ago, and then we see what's been going on this year. He has them at 10-2, and look,
just outside the
for
playoff.
what it's worth, I right there. I mean, he probably would have had to make it into the playoff, and maybe to get that kind of love. But I really feel like, man, if Love doesn't get it, we got to look at Pavia. I mean, the fact that he's there, he's going to be hopefully in New York, is great, but. I mean, what a story that would be to give it to Pavia after kind of what he's done, transferred here, and then been such a success and a great part of Vanderbilt. I mean, when's the last time we were ever talking about Vanderbilt football, especially this late in the season?
Never.
I loved it.
Yeah,
at all.
I mean, if you're looking at just strictly the quarterbacks, Pavia screams Heisman more than the other two do. Now, Sayin and Mendoza are much better at the quarterback position, in my opinion, than Pavia, but Pavia to me screams Heisman. You look at it, and he's like when, say, Manziel won it, or when like Troy Smith won it. Those guys that just they wow you with their play. They're not necessarily the most gifted and the best overall quarterbacks, but they give you those moments where it's just like, damn, that dude can ball. Like, I don't think that he should be overlooked here. I think the betting odds giving him a shot, I think, is realistic. I think he'll be in New York for that Final Four. I think your Final Four is those four there: Mendoza, Sayin, Pavia, and Love. I'd love for those two to legitimately have a shot, Pavia and Love.
Because if you're looking at I definitely see like stat wise. Because if you look at 2025 season, he threw for 3,192 yards, 27 touchdowns, only had 8 interceptions. And then you look at Julian Sayin, he threw for 3,065 for 30 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Mendoza, 2,758 and 32 touchdowns and 5 interceptions.
Yeah. And I mean, that doesn't factor in Pavia's rushing ability and the rushing scores.
It's crazy. They both have 5 interceptions. They both have 5.
Yeah, well, and that's what I mean. Sayin and Mendoza, they're playing for what's viewed as the two best teams right now. They don't make mistakes. They're very similar in how they play. They're both insanely accurate. They're both calm in the pocket, great decision makers, and good arms. It's just they're not. We've talked about it. Heisman isn't the most valuable. It's been that popularity contest that guy that just makes you say, wow. And to me, that's Pavia, that's Love, that's Jeremiah Smith. Before it's Sayin and Mendoza. So, it's probably going to go to Sayin or Mendoza, whoever wins that matchup. But I'd love for it to go to one of those other guys.
I'm right there with you. I am right there with you. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us know in the comments who you think deserves the Heisman, who you think will get it. Obviously, you see Gunner and Simpson on this list. So definitely let us know where you stand and what you got going on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to move right along. We've been talking about this for the last couple weeks. Normally, we wait till maybe the end of the season or randomly talk about it throughout the season. But every single week, we have been talking about some coach being fired or some coach, where are they going, what's going on, what's the next move for them. You saw earlier a guy, the Grim Reaper, a.k.a. Will Kramer, hopped in here. Maybe he hopped in here to take a coach out, didn't tell us. Well, no, we'll see. But
hey, maybe if Bama loses, maybe DeBoer's out. Just saying.
I mean, there's been conversation. I mean, everybody seems to think he's on his way out. So, hey, it's going to be interesting. Bama definitely is not used to losing 3 games in a season. Jim Jones saying the coach of UMass.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
So that's going to be interesting. Let's see. I mean, we know. I think it was with Jim Mora. He got a new job after he left.
He went from UConn to Colorado State.
Yeah.
As they're joining the Pac-12.
That's going to be interesting. Jim Jones said, "I only say that because they done played so much in the last couple of weeks."
Fair.
It could be interesting. But look, so hey, Jim, you're here. Let's get into the number one topic that everybody's been talking about. And there it is. Lane Kiffin to LSU. He held us ransom, kind of like that whole LeBron James, I got to interview and have this whole sit down and what's going to happen. And then comes out, he's going to LSU. The crazy part, ladies and gentlemen, is that his team, Ole Miss, we just talked about them, and they're headed to the playoff. And he is walking away for maybe what he considers a better job. Alex, unprecedented? Like, I don't know that I've seen this when so much is at stake in one place, and then he still wanted to coach over there, but they're like, no, you're leaving. You just need to go ahead and go. What do you make of all this?
I mean, it was wild. He did them so dirty, just like Jim Jones literally just put in the comments. I don't see how you could be like he's talked about it so much. This is the greatest 6-year run in Ole Miss football history.
Yeah.
And you have a legit shot to go win a national championship with this team, and you're just gonna walk away. Like I get it. LSU is the better of the two jobs. It 100% is. You've got the state of Louisiana to recruit in. You've got way more resources. You got way more backing at LSU. Obviously, the stakes and the expectations are way higher. You've got a way shorter leash than you had at Ole Miss, where you had everything you wanted. It's shocking to me that this went the way it did. I mean, it's not shocking because it's Lane Kiffin. He does this all the time. But I don't see how you can swing this as you're recruiting kids if you're Lane. Like, you just had a group of guys that you've recruited. Some of them have been there all 4 years playing under you. And you've told them time after time, like, you're in this for the long haul. You're here. You're coaching. Let's go win this national championship. And then, oh, by the way, I'm out. Like, I don't see how you can sway that to recruits. If I'm an LSU recruit or a guy that Lane Kiffin's talking to, how can I trust anything he's saying? Because he's been telling Ole Miss players everything. And then he just walked out the door. As far as the playoff situation and him coaching, why should he be able to coach?
Right.
That's like saying, hey, we're divorcing. I'm leaving, going to the next door neighbor down the street here. But I want to stay till after Christmas, just so the family can be together till Christmas. It's like, no, pack your stuff and get out. Bye-bye. Lane Kiffin should not have even thought it made sense for him to coach Ole Miss. He was probably just thinking that's some more time to try and recruit players and coaches over to LSU with him. So, props to the Ole Miss AD for putting his foot down and for being decisive and going quick with putting Pete Golding in as the head coach. Don't waste any time, especially like we've seen the playoff committee with players and coaches being out. That's affected seeding and ranking. So props to them for just, okay, you're out the door. Bye. Let's go get our new guy and making that decision quick. So.
Oh yeah. Jim Jones said, "Hey, I don't know if I can. I don't know. I don't trust Lane." And he did them dirty. Absolutely. And say this out loud. The head coach of LSU is not coaching Ole Miss in the playoffs. Yep.
Yeah.
And that said, I'm with the AD. I wouldn't let him coach either, and agreeing with Alex. He's been doing this for a while. USC and Vols ring a bell. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
It's crazy. This to me, I mean, it's just, this is where we're at in college football. And this is why anytime anybody talks to me about these players and how, oh, they're not loyal and they're running and they're doing this and they're transferring, no, miss me with all that. Because just to your point, Alex, you have this coach who is literally recruiting guys saying, come here, I'm going to be here. I want you to be here with me. Let's do this. And then exit stage left. You know what I mean? He had some players come out and say, "You didn't even say nothing to us. You didn't even tell us." I mean,
he did not have a meeting with the team.
That's disrespectful. That's not even a move. That's not even a man. Like that to me. And I know what kind of person he is, and this is what we should expect. So part of it is kind of like maybe this is on us for believing that he wouldn't do something like this. But still, it's just like, bro, what honor is that? Alex, I just keep thinking of CFP 26 or college football 26, where it's like coach stability F. You know what I mean? He's not staying put.
The one thing with this too that I want to make clear is this just shows how broken the college football schedule is.
Mm-hmm.
You have, before the playoff bracket is even set, and you have early signing day happen today. You have coaches already leaving for a freaking playoff team that has a chance to win a national championship, being like, no, I need to go get a head start on everything. I'm out. What it should be is the day after the national championship. Follow the NFL schedule. You cannot, if you're a team in the playoffs, your coaches cannot be talked to until you're eliminated. If you're LSU, you cannot talk to Lane Kiffin until Ole Miss is eliminated. I think that's the absolute way it should be. I think the early signing day is also a terrible idea. You have kids signing in December, and there's still so much change to happen in these programs. I think it should be, say, 2-3 weeks after the national championship, from the end of the national championship, 2-3 weeks later, coach window. That's where your coaches can move. After that, you're locked in. And then after that, you get 4 to 6 weeks of transfer portal and signing day. And that's where your players can move. And then after that, everyone's locked in. Then you do your spring camp, everything like that, fall camp. If you wanted to do another transfer portal at the end of spring camp, fine. That's your second transfer window. But otherwise, leave it alone. All these players and coaches moving off playoff teams and teams still in the hunt for playoffs, it's insane. I can't stand it. No.
I mean you're not giving these players any kind of stability, and to Jim Jones' point, they don't. How are you going to trust him? How am I supposed to trust you?
Yeah,
you know what I mean, or trust anything you say, Alec? Man, what do you think about this, man?
I definitely agree with that because it messes with so much. Because like I said in the pre-show, even Chris Henry Jr., he was originally committed to Ohio State, and then their offensive coordinator is out. Now he wants to leave, or no, he wants to look elsewhere for another school.
Keep his options open, yeah.
It just messes everything up recruiting wise. So it's just like, why don't you just set the foundation so that no one's walking into something, and then they're like, it's like the meme of Will Smith when he's walking in, there's like nobody around. It's like,
yeah,
where's everybody? The reason why I committed to that school, now the reason why that person's that I committed is now gone. Now I'm stuck here. And then next thing you know, off season hits, transfer portal, and they go, why are they leaving? It's kind of like a stability thing. That's what I view it as. How you had to have stability in your team and your program if you want to keep players around. Because the more you if a player, if you want somebody that's committed to your team, your program, and then next thing you know, a coach is gone, it just messes everything up. It should definitely follow the NFL schedule.
100%.
I think the one interesting thing we're seeing, especially this coaching carousel run here, is how many players are not committing to schools, but they're committing to coaches.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen James Franklin pillage essentially the entire Penn State recruiting class. Like you just talked about, Alec, Brian Hartline leaves, and then you've got Ohio State players being like, okay, I'm going to open my options again. Like you've got, just in the last couple of days here with Lane Kiffin going to LSU, I think they've poached 3 or 4 Ole Miss recruits. There's players are being recruited and committing to coaches now and not schools. So I think that's why you need those set windows as well. So you can be like, okay, Lane moved. He's got a staff in place. Is that the staff I want to play for, or am I staying with the school? I think that's a huge thing to give 18-year-old kids time to look at.
Especially with Hartline's resume, he produced like 5 great NFL players so far. Like that's like 4 years.
JSN, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Michael Thomas was in that list. Like there's so many guys.
Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison Jr. Yeah, I couldn't be happier that he's gone from Ohio State. Hopefully he's such a good recruiter. Well, I kind of looked ahead and said Virginia Tech's going to be in the running for the playoff next year. I think USF with Hartline and how good of a recruiter he is, they could be in the running for that group of 5 auto bid. Watch out for USF next year.
Man, watch out. Yo, Joseph said that is the truth. Jim said, I agree with Alex. Most of the players are going to school for the coaches. Maybe some NIL, but mostly the coaches. And he said, I committed to coaches when I played NCAA not to the school.
Yeah, every recruiting trip I had in involvement with schools and other teams from other leagues, it was entirely coaches. Do I have the faith in this coach to get me where I want to go and to get me to accomplish the goals I want? That's the coach, not the school. You can find those coaches almost anywhere, but if you find that coach that's specifically perfect for what you want, you follow him to the ends of the earth.
Oh yeah. And what is he building? What is, even because I can understand, okay, you want to get another job, X, Y, and Z, as long as you're honest and forthright on it. But what are you building? You know what I mean? Yeah. When you have guys move to these other teams, it's because I believe what you got over here. I believe what you're building. Look at how Signetti's been able to move and bringing guys in because they believe in the vision of what he's going to build and how he's going to coach. So that's huge. That's huge, man. But this whole thing with Lane, man, I'm not trying to give him that much more time because we already know he loves that attention and being in the news and whatnot. But this should be interesting. And I think Ben made a great point that he has to go to Knoxville next year and has to go to Ole Miss next
Oxford,
year. So Oxford. So he better enlist in some protection because they're going to be gunning for him.
That O-line's going to have to form the pocket around Lane to get him in the stadium.
Right. That man's definitely going to send his daughter to Ole Miss to mess with one of the players.
She going to dump Weeks and go for
right. That's me. Now, real quick, let's talk about. All right, so there was some moves. There's a number of moves in the SEC. Yeah. Alex, talk about some of these hires, some of these coaches that have come into the SEC, and is that actually going to make a difference?
Yeah, so they all freaking happened at once on Sunday there. John Summerall from USF is now the coach at Florida. I think I like that move a lot. Gives them a guy that's shown he can kind of build the program back up with what he did there. Made USF a damn good football team. I think if you give him the time, that is the biggest thing. The pressure can't be on right away because that's not what he's designed to do. He's designed to get this team built. He's a good recruiter. He's a good developer. You need to give him the time to do that. But I think it's a really good hire. Arkansas obviously fired Sam Pittman in September. Bobby Petrino was the interim coach, the offensive coordinator. They hired, Ryan Silverfield? Yes, the coach of Memphis is a massive hire there. He's not one that I thought was leaving, but that's a great hire. That's an absolutely great hire. What he's done at Memphis, that was a team that, you get like one or two exciting players every couple of years. The Antonio Gibsons, the Kenneth Gainwells, those kind of guys where it was like, you get one exciting player every once in a while. Made them a good football team, a real good football team.
Oh, yeah.
Constantly in the running for that group of 5 auto bid. I can't wait to see what he does with Arkansas, because not much has been able to be done at Arkansas over the last few years here. But I'm excited to see how he can do that. And then Auburn was the last big one on Sunday. We had another SEC one, I believe today, that I'll go over. But Auburn obviously fired Hugh Freeze in November. Had DJ Durkin as the interim, the defensive coordinator, and they signed Alex Golish. Oh, sorry, I had what did I have those mixed up? What schools they were from? Tulane is John Sumrall, the Florida coach, was from Tulane. Sorry, I had those mixed up. Alex Golish is from South Florida. He's the one that's going to Auburn. Sumrall built Tulane. Golish built USF. They've both done a phenomenal job. They've both been in the running for the Group of 5 bid the last 2 years. Both have had very good programs. A major thing for Auburn, DJ Durkin is still on the staff. He agreed to stay as the defensive coordinator, move back down from the interim head coach to the defensive coordinator. I think that's a really good move. At least keep one side of the ball consistent from what you've had. And then today, I believe it was announced. A couple days ago, Mark Stoops fired from Kentucky. And then they've essentially confirmed that Oregon offensive coordinator Will Stein is their guy. They have finalized the deal. Sorry. Yeah. So Will Stein is the head coach there. I believe that's all the SEC ones. We got the other ones here. Do you want me to run through them right now as well?
Yeah. What else you got?
Okay. UCLA has hired James Madison's Bob Chesney to be their next head coach.
Ooh,
see if he can do what obviously Signetti's done at Indiana, another school that has had a rough football program. Signetti obviously got them to buy in, turn it around. And we'll see if Chesney can do the same. Tim Skipper, the interim UCLA head coach, he just got a job at a D2 or D3. I think it was Cal Poly or something like that.
Okay.
He got announced today that he has another head coaching job, so congrats to him. Moving in to another head coaching role.
Do you know if UCLA is keeping Jerry Neuheisel?
I haven't heard anything on that. I hope they do, or if not, I hope he gets a coordinator or head coach job elsewhere, because he was awesome for them. I really hope that's the case. Stanford, obviously in March, fired Troy Taylor, made Frank Reich the interim coach. They hired Washington Commanders quarterbacks coach Tavita Pritchard on the 28th of November there. So he is their head coach going forward. Interesting thing here, he's another former Stanford quarterback. So Luck and Pritchard working step in step together. I think that's a good move. You need somebody that knows the school, knows the area, and can try and help build that back up. I really like that hire. The more I've looked into him, the more I've liked him. Obviously, we have
Luck and Pritchard, 2 quarterbacks, both trying to be ahead of that system. I think they're going to bring it back up to some kind of glory.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a phenomenal hire. I really do. And very under the radar.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State, obviously Mike Gundy fired in September. The Cowboys then hired North Texas coach Eric Morris. He's going to make that offense real good right away. It'll be interesting to see if Mestamaker goes with him, the quarterback, if he's got some eligibility left, if he will follow, or if he stays at North Texas. This one, as a Michigan fan, I absolutely hate. I like that they fired Jonathan Smith. He was a good coach, just kind of couldn't get it rolling at MSU. I had my prophecy that Brian Kelly was going there, and I was hours after they fired Jonathan Smith. It might have been 2 hours after. Pat Fitzgerald, the former Northwestern
Mhm.
coach, hired. I really,
Love that.
I mean, there was obviously the stuff that happened behind the scenes that caused him to get fired at Northwestern, but he's the only coach to really have Northwestern relevant in the last like 20, 25 years.
Exactly.
He had them in the Big
Yeah.
12 or Big 10 title game a couple different times. So I mean, I don't like that they got him. He's a good coach. And as we talk, I don't know if we talked about it on the show yet or if it was just before the show, but Oregon's lost both their coordinators because the Oregon defensive coordinator, I believe it's Josh Tupoy, he's either finalized or confirmed to be the next Cal head coach, who fired Justin Wilcox November 23rd after they kind of collapsed at the end this past season. I mean, Oregon, both coordinators have done very well the last few years, so I think those are both good hires. We'll see if they pan out. And then the last opening we got right now, Penn State.
Yes.
That's the last one here. There's part of me that still thinks they're holding on hope that Georgia smacks Bama around, Bama gets kicked out of the playoff, and Kalen DeBoer gets fired. I think that's what they're hoping for here. Because, I mean, there's talks of DeBoer wanting out. The other one I would look at is a guy looking to leave his school is Jed Fish from Washington. I've been hearing lots of talks that he's not liking living in Seattle, that the family has left Seattle altogether, and it's just him there now, that the family's like, we're going back to Arizona. We hate it here. You can coach here. And like, they're not splitting or anything. It's just, we're out. Come see us when when you're not doing football stuff. So I wonder if he would take a look at Penn State. Fish is a hell of a coach. He's a very good coach. He's got a good track record. He had ties to the South, so I'm kind of surprised he didn't end up with one of those jobs. But it's just like, I mean, it seems like everyone Penn State swung at is missed. For some reason, they didn't want Chesney from JMU, now at UCLA. The last couple of days, it's been Kalani Sitake from BYU, and he said thanks, but no thanks. Got his new deal. He's locked in for the long haul at BYU. And they already said no to Urban Meyer. They really wanted Hartline. There was rumors there was a plane that supposedly went from Columbus directly to College Station, Pennsylvania. Maybe Matt Patricia. I don't know. Don't know if it was accurate or not, or somebody just made that up. But it was suspected it was Hartline. Obviously, he's headed to USF. So another swing and a miss. So it's just like, what is Penn State might, we've been talking about it in the group chat, they might just have to fall back on Terry Smith. And even, I wouldn't hate them potentially doing what Stanford just did with Frank Reich. Like, okay, you're the coach for this year.
Yeah.
Get us through this season. And then we'll see about long-term. But I don't know what they're going to do because their recruiting class fell apart because how are you going to go as a recruit if you don't know who the coach is?
Exactly. And see, that's why that would be why I would cast my vote for Terry Smith to be here. Obviously, you see the players, they have their little signs. Yeah. And then look, obviously, I hope this is not like a Jared Mayo situation in the NFL, or you talk about with like a Frank Reich situation where they're just like, you're just the stand-in and we're just going to get somebody else to come in. But if you think about this situation, too, what you were just saying, all these guys, we've seen how many different recruits that were going to come to Penn State. Now they're flipping to Virginia Tech. So we've seen all the recruits. You need somebody that's going to keep what you have in-house there. Mm-hmm. The players clearly love this guy. And so, I mean, now with how everything has played out, and to your point about DeBoer, it could happen. I don't know if it's going to happen, but we'll see. I think it might be good to keep him in-house just for that year to see what can you do. We have top-tier talent. We had funds. Can you put something together, kind of coach yourself into a job, or will we always keep looking for that next guy? Because, I mean, you never know.
The one name that's kind of gone cold in the Penn State coaching search that got brought up a lot early on, and then just kind of disappeared. Manny Diaz. He's still sitting there. Maybe he gets an ACC title and then says, "Deuces, I'm out, going back to College Station." The really interesting thing with Penn State is we just talked about like DJ Durkin getting held on at Auburn. What happens with Jim Knowles? That's a damn good DC sitting there in College Station. I'd imagine whoever takes him would be smart to keep him on. But if Manny Diaz goes, is he going to want to run his defense, and is Jim Knowles the odd man out there? Like, it's a very interesting situation to look at. The other one that got brought up earlier before the show that we discussed, kind of tossed it aside, but I think it's still worth mentioning on the show. Jeff Brom at Louisville.
Right.
Hasn't got that long-term deal, hasn't been locked in financially. Has history in the Big Ten. I think he'd be heavily mistaken to leave Louisville for Penn State. Especially that's the alma mater. But Penn State's got to be an enticing job nonetheless.
Yeah. Everybody would want to look in that direction. But to your point, like, this kind of is his home. This is his alma mater. This is what he was dreaming for. This is one of those situations where I feel like stay put. You got everything right there. Everything that we thought Lane had in that situation. I think he could potentially have that. Alec, man, who you think gets this job, or, you know, what you thinking about this whole situation?
To your point with the Penn State job, it's actually crazy that I would say more so like the reason why they like the getting a head coach so far has been rough for them is that once you get rid of a coach that you've had for God knows how long, it takes a toll on recruiting. And then you look at all the coaches that are out there. Some coaches, they don't want to be in that situation where they got to rebuild for like 3-4 years of like building up their resume in that level. But I definitely agree with that. They'll probably have to go with in-house due to like the availability and the coaching free agency of carousel for it. It's just sources are saying the Ducks may have broken the Happy Valley. I don't know. Ever since we beat them, I don't know. Like it's just like they were here.
They fell apart. Yeah.
It's just like that meme, like where are they that like the like SpongeBob, right? He's like going through like the line and all this like this. It's just like each person just slept.
Coming on through.
I don't know. It was ever since that game is like
you guys beat them, and then UCLA beat them, right? UCLA beat them that next week, or was it?
And then who was it after that beat them?
I think it was
Northwestern beat them, yeah. And then they lost back-to-back weeks to Ohio State and Indiana as well.
I think it was. Let me see. Yeah, it was us. They lost against UCLA, Northwestern, Iowa, Ohio State, Indiana.
Jeez.
They lost 5 in a row?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Actually, lost 6 in a row. Oregon, UCLA, Northwestern, Iowa, Ohio State, Indiana.
Oh.
That's what it was.
Ouch. I mean, that totally fell apart. Yeah.
Ever since us. Well, I mean, if you play Villanova and Nevada and FIU.
Yeah. And I mean, look, and to your point, Alec, that's, you know, you also got to think some of these coaches are looking at it like, look, this guy has been here for X amount of years. He's led you guys to how many victories and always had you guys in the hunt. And then has a one bad season where he, you know, has a string of losses. They let him go. What chance do I have coming in here? How much time are you really going to give me?
I feel like what their direction they're moving in now is they're tired of having a coach that, like, yeah, you win games, but when you play in like the top 10 matchups or like a ranked team, you don't shine in the big moments. Or like if you go to like the Big Ten championship, you don't shine in the big games. I'm guessing they're trying to go away from that direction. Be like, yeah, we're tired of this. We need a whole new situation now. Then you look at all the coaches, they're like, why I want to go there?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But be a part of. But that was that was our question. That was when we brought this up, and we've been talking about this. We talked about it last year in the playoff. We talked about it coming into this season. The reason why we said we were questioning moving on from him, because the question didn't turn to, well, who are you going to get to replace him? If you are tired of just having 10-win seasons, who are you going to get that's going to take you over that hump? And as we've seen, coaches are going elsewhere, but nobody's going to College Station. So now you look back at, and Alex, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. When you like, are they going to look back and be like, I think we messed up. I think we made a mistake.
Yeah, because we've been saying for a couple months now, since all of these coaches started getting fired. EK said it, I think, more than anybody here. There was more openings than there was qualified coaches. Mm-hmm. So it's just Penn State got the short end of the stick here. They're the last one. They're at the dance without a partner now. So time to see who steps up to be that partner for them. But it's going to be wild here.
Yep. Man, I don't know who's going to get this job, but it's going to be interesting.
Good luck with them at this point. Bless you.
Exactly. Thank you. And I mean, because the other parts of all this, and you guys are privy to this, Penn State, you got at least, let's see, Indiana, Ohio State, Oregon, USC. I mean,
let's see who they play next year.
Teams.
I know they play us next year. 2026 schedule. So their non-conference games, they get off to a good start there. Marshall, at Temple, and Buffalo. But then their conference games, they're at Maryland, at Michigan, and this isn't like in order. It's just the conference dates haven't been determined yet. Their 3 road games in conference: at Maryland, at Michigan, at Northwestern. Then they have and at Washington, and then their 5 conference home games: Minnesota, Purdue, Rutgers, USC, Wisconsin. They avoid Ohio State, they avoid Indiana, they avoid Oregon.
Huh.
That's actually not that bad.
I was about to say, now Terry Smith comes in here and wins this thing. Do you give him the job with that asterisk that you didn't play the top teams?
I mean, here's the thing, though. You play USC, who's had the number 1 recruiting class this year. Mm-hmm. You play Michigan, who's had a really good recruiting class, youngest team in the Big Ten, and is reloaded. You're at Washington. That's never an easy place to play, especially cross country. At Maryland, we that's a damn good team. That's another really young team with young players in key positions. I wouldn't push over Maryland either. I think that's a potential loss there too. So in conference, we just talked about 4 potential losses there, which at Penn State is still not good enough. So,
yep.
It's gonna be interesting. Yeah. So I don't know. It's a way easier schedule than originally thought, but there's still probably at least 2 or 3 losses on that, if not more. Because I mean, we didn't see them losing to Northwestern and UCLA this year.
No.
So, and a ton of talent not only left as far as the recruiting class, there's a ton of guys that are going to go to the draft just to say, I'm getting the hell out of here. That team is going to be a shell of itself the last couple of years here.
Speaking of which, Aller, obviously he gets hurt, gets a season-ending injury. How many years does he have left? Is he?
I don't think he has eligibility left.
Because other than that, I would have said, well, is he going to pull a Carson Beck, where he's going to go, thinks he's going to draft? And
I think he played too much though to get a medical red shirt.
Oh yeah,
I think he did. He played 6 games this year, so I don't know.
I think you can only play 4, isn't it?
Well, 4 for a regular red shirt. I don't know how that works with a medical one. But he didn't redshirt any year, so he was a senior this year, a 4-year senior.
Right.
So I mean, realistically, he should be able to still transfer and do that 5th-year senior, the graduate transfer. I haven't heard whether he's going pro or not, though. It's been pretty quiet. I mean, rightfully so. He's just focused on his rehab at this point, but that's a big domino here as far as, is he going to transfer like Beck did, or is he just going to go pro?
Right. And then what does that do to his pro stock? You know what I mean? I mean, how far does that drop him? Does somebody get a steal? Is he going to be the same guy? But I sit there and think about it, and I look at his play, even when he was having
wasn't
success.
good this year.
Right. We had a lot of questions about his performance. So
Grunkemeyer got in the backup and played way better. I will say that.
So then, now you got this injury, and it's like, well, your stock went way down. So I don't know. If he has a year of eligibility, it might be best for him, kind of just like Carson Beck, to come back and at least put another year on tape. But I mean, there's definitely still things he's got to work out or work through. So, but look, we will see. We're going to see who's going to get that job, along with any of these other jobs, man. The coaching carousel is still going around. To your point, wild. Alex, it is. And to your point, I think they need to switch that to like the NFL. Do this stuff after the season, because having it where you even have this type of situation, it is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's not good for the players. It's not good for the chemistry, the camaraderie. And we already know these guys are chasing the money. So don't put them in a situation where they're going to do something foolish like this, man. So, but at the end of the day, Lane Kiffin is still a man, and we know this is the type of stuff he does. So there it is. There it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are heading out of here. We appreciate y'all hopping in here and talking with us and getting a little football action in. It has been a long season, and we are almost close to the end, but somehow it is still extremely hot in here because things are heating up by the day. And it
still seems like just yesterday we were talking about Bill Belichick's first game, Bryce Underwood's first game, Dante Moore being a DoorDash quarterback. There was a lot of stuff that was discussed. You taking that back? Is that what that was?
Put the fries in the bag. Because John said, Dante Moore could be a first-round draft pick. I was like, well, win
it all.
And
he's going to be a top 10 draft pick in the 2026 NFL draft.
The CFL?
NFL. NFL.
I saw a mock draft today that had him at 2. Going to the Raiders. The Raiders.
Oh, God bless him. God bless his soul.
You're not going to trade up? Have Tampa trade up to get him.
I've seen what you said about Baker. So yeah, go get the boy.
At least you have your guy.
I want Sadiq. More so, I want O-line. O-line, then Sadiq.
Okay.
Yeah,
what if Dante falls?
Need O-line too at this point.
So imagine you get Bucky.
You need everything.
Sadiq.
Washington needs everything. So we're on to Carolina basketball.
Get a quarterback.
True. Well, but here's the other part. Do we put him in? I personally don't want us to put him in. We got 5 games left. There's no point. There's no point. We're out of the playoffs. There's no.
You have a quarterback, just don't have him learn to teach him how to slide.
2 years, he still hasn't learned. That's my one major gripe with him. He's still. I get wanting to extend it and dive and do all this extra stuff, but you got to live to fight another day. You got to go down a slide, man. Till he learns that, we're going to be in this predicament. But here we go. But look, ladies and gentlemen, we got to get out of here. For my guy, Mr. Maize and Blue, Alex Loosemore, and you see him down there, Alec Schomburg, Mr. Quack Quack himself. It's your boy Sean Spencer, still repping that Carolina blue, and we appreciate y'all joining us, talking a little college football. We will be out of here. Stay tuned. I'm gonna see. I think I'm free. I don't know what you guys are doing, but Saturday morning before these conference championships, might have to get back on here and chat it up a little bit. And
I'll see you back to you on that one.
Okay, let me know.
We
Let me
moving
know.
to Pittsburgh.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Or Las Vegas.
When are you moving to St. Louis? Go in that Arizona Cardinals bed with the WWE ring ropes on it.
Never. I'm good out here in Florida. Florida's my permanent home.
I can dig it. You're not coming back to VA?
I would rather staple my eyes shut.
Wow.
Oh man,
There's nothing there.
certain parts are rough. Come up to Northern Virginia.
Sean's
man.
there.
Yeah, I was about to say,
He's
come
in,
to Northern
he's in
Virginia.
northern.
Yeah,
It's like 5 hours.
Yeah, because you was in the 757. You was in Norfolk. Ain't nothing down there. But football, high school football.
Yeah, I ain't going to no high school football games. Well, my freaking never mind. Let me shut up.
All right, people, we out of here, man. We'll see y'all on the flip side.
College Football Update. It's with your host, Sean Spencer and Alex Rusman.